Okay, so I've got the top part of his head already banded. Not wrapped or anything. I'll do that at the end. But this is where I start making my line. So I'm going to go down over the top of his ear to the very bottom corner, pull all that up. And go down a little bit further after his ear because that gets that little weird hair that likes to mat. He has great big ears, this dog. He has a very soft coat, very flyaway. And I've never banded this dog's neck before because he's young still and I normally won't do it. But I'm doing it just to teach. Everybody's asking. So basically, I run my line from a little bit below the back corner of the ear to kind of just the outside top of his shoulder blade if they're laying straight. So that line will run all the way down. It's snowing outside, so he had a break and he got to go out for a bit, and he's curly again after his bath, but whatever. As you can see, this line is not straight yet, but it will be. Now, I would personally, with a young dog, only go till the back of the shoulder blade. He's not continental yet, so you don't know, this stuff isn't a big deal. But I would just go to the back of his shoulder blade, and that's that. So now I'm going to straighten out my line. Again, this dog, he's not even 9 months old yet, so he doesn't have a ton of hair, and what he does have is super soft. Plus he's apricot, so that doesn't help any. So basically what I'm doing here is just making sure this line is straight and even. Because if it's not, you're going to have issues. So I put that, not very far away, half an inch or so. That will hold that in place once I get the line where I want it. Same with this. Tidy this up. Got some crooked here. Now, if you don't have a crap load of combs like I do, you only have to do, one comb length at a time. I like to do the whole thing because then I just don't have to fight with it again. But that's just my thing. Okay, that's long hair. Yeah, it's soft hair. You are such a good boy, laying still like this. Wow. Good boy, Link. And I overlap the ends of the combs here just so I don't have a little spot. I'm going to pause this while I do the other side. Okay, so I have both combs in both sides here. Now with doing doubles, boy, it's a little bit wider and it works for me. I've been having a lot of luck with it. So I'm going to show you how to do doubles with this guy. And his soft flyaway hair. Link, stay. Good boy. Stay. Stop. Stay. Good boy. Stay. Stay. I should have done this top part first. Well, because this is still technically head hair. Anyway, so I don't do super wide sections because I find it's not, or I find it mats badly. So I tend to do smaller sections. Always double check and straighten your parts if you need to. Make sure your parts match up here, because otherwise, bug them. Always comb before you band. Oops. I like to band fairly tight to the skin, and then I loosen them up by pulling the skin. So they're pretty tight at first. Stay. Very good boy. Only 2 wraps. Can't believe this dog has enough hair for this. Oh, I'm surprised, buddy. You've grown lots. So again, I just kind of pull everything apart, loosen it up a bit so it's comfortable. Don't want it to pull, because otherwise it will bug them and they will rub. Okay, that's actually head hair still. All right, this is the first neck one. Stay. Good boy. You see how the combs kind of keeps hair out of the way. You don't need to fight with it. This first neck one I usually do just to the back of the ear. So from the occiput to the back of the ear. Stay with it. I always find this side, it's awkward to get it without pulling hair out of the comb, so it usually takes me a little bit longer to get this corner. You stay, Link. What have we done? Hey, pushing forward. Link! Back up. Stay. Twerp. Being a twerp. Yeah. You try to get these as straight as you can, right down the center, but you don't always manage it, and that's okay. Just hope you don't get too crooked. What are you doing, cat? Hmm? Again, loosen this off so it's comfy. His hair is actually long enough to wrap if I wanted to. Get a tiny wrap. Hmm? Nuh-uh. No. He's going to be really weirded out by this. It'll be funny. When I wrap, I always fold the bottom edge and then have that on the outside so there's no sharp edges on the hair. I wrap to the band, so it's covering that band. I have cut these ones in half because they don't need to be full length for short hair. Wrap it around nice and snug. And then fold in half. Actually, I'm going to do thirds with this guy because he doesn't have a ton of hair. Usually it's half and then half again, but I need enough. There we go. And 2 bands on the wrap. Again, twice around. So it's not too tight, because too tight a band breaks hair. Actually, might as well do these as well. Get the hair out of the way. I'm not doing the way I do stories because he doesn't have enough hair for that. I'm just going to make it so it's comfortable for him. I like to put these two together instead of having it separate because I find I get breakage in the center with these soft coats. Story I could never do like this. Like to have two without putting them together in the center. So otherwise I had way too much breakage in the center of her top knot, and I figure it's better to have breakage on the outside than in the center for thickness. Good boy. Whoops. Hang on. I'm just gonna loosen these off his eye because I never did. There you go, buddy. Should probably put these two together. Because why not? There we go. I'm going to pause this now. I'm going to do another section that you can see. Might as well stay. Good boy. Good boy. So I have the phone hanging from the top of the door frame with a dog leash. It's really funny, but it's the only way I could get an aerial shot of this. So, and it's actually working out quite well. I think you'll be able to see it very well. Stay. Link. Stay. No wiggles. Straight apart as you can manage. Good boy. It helps if you have a dog that's being super cooperative, which this one mostly is. Still doesn't really muscle on doing this, so. He's not at Story's level yet, but he's only 8 months old. He's almost 9 months. Stop. Next weekend he'll be 9 months. Ready? Good boy. One thing to worry about as well is to make sure your corners are straight. It's hard to do. Nice clear corner. Stay. You're squirming. Link, stop. 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 Well, you dumb. Stay. Stay. Cat, you're not helping. He's being a dork because of you. He's laid over on one hip, but since I've got my lines already done, it's not a big deal if he does that, because I've got the side to side, so it's kind of, you might go crooked in the center, but it's not as big a deal as if, say, you were spraying up. But he's going to have to learn to lay straight soon. I'm going to start practicing spray ups on this dog. He learns how to deal with that crap. Gonna have to know it. He's not gonna get the chance to have easy short puppy spray ups at a show, so this poor dog's gonna have to learn how to deal with it. So I think we better teach him what it's all about before we get to a show environment. All right. Anyway, I'm going to do the rest and then I'll show you the end product after. Okay. So that's it. That's his neck done. Bring it a little closer, I guess. Take it out of its leash string here. go. You can see lines are rather straight. They're not stupid perfect, but I'm taking this out probably tomorrow because he'll probably go after it. But you know, there's 2 into 1 straight part down the middle as much as possible. Little tiny wraps. You don't have to wrap. You can just do bands like this if you like. You know, I just did 2 together here. I need to do his ears still, but whatever. Poor guy. It's the first time he's had this. He's only ever had like this banded, so, in his ears. But like I said, I'll leave it for a day or 2 and then take it all out because it's definitely not necessary. Anyway, that's how I band necks. Now how I band necks. I did stories differently and I'm much happier with doing it this way now. So glad I figured this one out.